How's everybody doing? Glad you could join me tonight. This is the Chiller Night Live pre-show. I'm Brian Hogue, and I'm the host of Chiller Chat and host of Chiller Night Theater as Jack Shadow. I've been noticing this weird thing going on. If you're watching me on YouTube, you see the the background behind me. I've been noticing it flashing different colors, and I'm not real sure how to make that stop. So hopefully it will not be too much of a disruption. All right, we'll see how it goes. But anyways, thanks for joining me tonight. We take this hour before the show to talk about the upcoming Chiller schedule. Brad says it's the Chiller Night pre-show with Brian Hogue, starring Brian Hogue, and here's Brian. Thank you, Brad. All right, now, what we do here, for those who may be new, there's some newer names there. I see joining us tonight. Now, if you're not aware, I do some shows. One's called Chiller Night Theater. That's a hosted horror show every Saturday night at 9 p.m. on Stream TV. I gotta see which camera I'm looking at here. Okay. Aha, that's my YouTube camera. All right, that's the one I want to... I have a couple cameras set up here. So on every Saturday night at 9 p.m. on Stream TV, Chiller Night Theater. It's a hosted horror show, just like the kind you probably grew up with if you're my age or older. We show a classic, or maybe not so classic, horror or science fiction movie from yesteryear, from the days of yesteryear. The golden age of schlock and horror. We bring them to you every week. So, it's hosted by Jack Shadow. And if you don't know Jack Shadow, if you're on YouTube, boom, there's the picture right there. Jack and Aura the Witch and Elle Von Nock the Vampire. And if you're on Facebook, you can't see anything behind you or behind me but a green screen. So sorry about that. But if you do want to check out what the YouTube version of all of this looks like, if you click on the link that I have in the description, you'll be able to go to that and see what I'm talking about. So, hey, my beautiful bride sent me a little heart, so right back at you, baby. All right, so tonight, and then that's 9 o'clock. Okay, Chiller Night Theater. We've been playing this show now for about a good 10 years, and we're just gonna keep going. And it's also playing in a couple different states too. We have one playing at CMAC TV in Fresno, California, and also in Northampton in Massachusetts. So that's kind of neat. But we have it playing there. I'm just going to check YouTube to make sure I don't have any comments yet. Okay. All right. If you write something to me and I'm not answering right away, just excuse me for now, and I'll tell you how we're going to fix that a little bit later as the weeks progress. I'm looking at multiple screens. So I actually got four different screens up here I'm looking at to try to make all this work. Let me go on with the schedule, and then I'll talk a little bit more about that, the changes that you'll be seeing on, not so much on YouTube, but on Facebook. All you guys on Facebook, you're going to see all the visual bells and whistles, that YouTube gets here within the next few weeks. So, anyways, at 11 p.m., at 9 p.m., we're going to have Chiller Night Theater. Now, we're airing the episode that played on Halloween night. Jack Shadow featured Night of the Living Dead. It's not a full-fledged regular Chiller Night Theater episode, but we played it on Halloween night, so Jack Shadow comes on there and he gives an intro to the movie, and then you get to see Night of the Living Dead. And then Autumn says, I did a oop and called him Johnny Depp. Jack Shadow, yeah, he he was okay with that. I think he forgave you, Autumn. So it's gonna be all right. No, yeah. I don't know. It's funny when I was in the haunted house when Jack Shadow was kind of walking around the customers, the guests in the haunted house. People would call him, instead of Jack Shadow, Jack Sparrow. I don't know. Maybe they both have long black hair. I don't know. So you'll have that. No problem. But anyways, now at 11 p.m. All right. Now if you missed the Halloween, if you missed Stream TV on Halloween night, we had Night of the Living Dead, the special that you're going to see here at 9 o'clock tonight, and then at 11 p.m. Chiller Chat is a brand new one from Tuesday night. It's going to be, I'm talking to my guest, Leah Dawn Madden, about vampires. And she talks to me why she is convinced that vampires really do exist. And so that's the show tonight at 11. And then at 11:30, we play Chiller Night Theater. Jack Shadow features The Devil's Hand, so that's a pretty good movie. I guess on YouTube when I'm putting up the schedule here, check this out. Now, if you're watching this, Night of the Living Dead, you can see the movie poster here. All right, I'm getting kind of good at this. The Devil's Hand, again with the movie poster, so pretty neat. All right, I'm working my way around here. I'm starting to learn this stuff. But anyways, and then at 11:30, Chiller Chat with, or I'm sorry, is that the, yeah, no, 11:30 is The Devil's Hand. And then at 1:30 a.m. Chiller Chat, and I interview, my guest is J.W. Burchick, and he wrote the book, the Hybrid Dead. So he's going to be on the show tonight. And then at 2 a.m. we top off the night with Night of the Living Dead. So we run every Saturday night. For those who are new to this, we run every Saturday night from 9 p.m. Actually, if you want to include the online presentation, which is what I'm doing now, it's kind of like 8 p.m. until like 3:30, 3:45 a.m. every Saturday night. Now from 8 until 9, it's just the online presentation that I'm doing right now. And then from 9 p.m. until 3:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I gotta say that because now we got viewers all over the place. I'm missing some comments. Okay, Night of the Living Dead changed the, Brad says, Night of the Living Dead changed the history of horror films. After that film, something rated R movie films. Okay, that must have presented, that must have been, I did not know that. That's when, that's when rated R movies were, I don't know. That's when they came up with rated R movies. I did not know that. Okay. Interesting bit of news there. Thank you, Brad. Jason says, Night of the Living Dead. Nice pick. Thank you, Jason. That's a classic. And then Brad says, it was that bloody and gory. Yes, okay, blood. Yes, all the blood was like chocolate syrup from what I understood. So it's great what they could do with black and white films at the time. So, oh, you know what I didn't do? Hey, all you guys watching on YouTube, and you guys on Facebook, you're just going to have to take about 10 seconds of nothing, of just sitting here watching me while I play the show's intro. So, 3, 2, 1. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Now, okay, you guys watching on Facebook, don't despair. Do not despair whatsoever, because I'll tell you what's coming up in the weeks, hopefully not months, but in the weeks to come. Whatever you're seeing on YouTube, you're going to see on Facebook. Now I'm working hard to figure that out. But figure it out I shall. Brad says, great Chiller Night pre-show intro. Thank you. Thank you very much. I actually used most of that for when I did this show as a podcast back at the beginning of the year. I put most of that together for the podcast for Chiller Night Radio, which I only had a couple episodes of that because it was far more difficult for me to keep up with doing the podcast than it is with this. Now I do 2 live programs a week because, as you might know by now, I do Chiller Chat live on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock, 8 Eastern Standard Time. I do it 8 o'clock on Tuesday nights. Chiller Chat live. Yeah, easier for me to say. Just like I'm doing now. And it's kind of neat. I get on there. I will talk with guests. And then the show that I record on Tuesday night, that is what you will watch on Saturday night. Okay? Example. The one that I just did Tuesday on October 30th, just the other night, that's tonight's Chiller Chat at 11 p.m. And that's how we're going to do that. Now, we will be having some of the... some more shows that are actually very soon, like a week or 2 from now. We're going to have more that are taped down at the Stream TV studio, the actual Chiller Chat set with the chairs, and the guests are on set with me. So those are coming too. So this just makes it a little easier for me to be able to sit right here in my office and talk to the guests and put the show out to Stream TV. So Brad says, by the way, nice red Flash t-shirt. Thank you. Thank you very much. I just wanted to stand out a little bit tonight, I guess. I don't know. So, all right. So yeah, that does kind of look nice on the YouTube background. But anyway, very, very colorful. Colors splashed across your screen. All right. A visual circus, folks. But anyways, we have we had a pretty neat week this week with Halloween, of course. Last Saturday was kind of neat. We had trick or treat here in the area that I live in, and Jack Shadow did a Tom says on YouTube, your background looks like there's some lighting going on. I did, yes. I mentioned that a little bit ago, Tom. I'm not real sure what's going on. I know that it's kind of flashing. Just pretend that's it's heat lightning or lightning in the spooky background behind me. I'll work on getting that fixed throughout the weeks. Maybe next week I'll have it figured out. It was doing that last week too, and I'm not sure why. I didn't notice that until later. So we'll get it figured out. I was playing around with the lighting trying to get that fixed before tonight's show, but no such luck. Brad says, great. Oh, still hard to believe I named that. Yes, the pre-night, the pre-show intro. Oh. Tom says lightning. Yes. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Hey, as long as it's still back there, I guess. But yeah, that is a little strange. See, when I sit up. No? Now I can't get it to do it. Yeah, I think it did. Oh well. I'll get it worked out. I'll get it figured out. Work in progress every week. Work in progress. But anyways, yes, Brad came up with the pre-show title, so we appreciate that. Always share information with me. Always share ideas with me. You know, what you want to see, what you don't want to see. You know, at one time, when I first started the Host a Horror Show back in May of 2008, that's how long I've been doing this. Not straight on through, you know, mind you, but in all fairness, I took some breaks here and there. But since May of 2008, I was doing this, and if you were one of the earlier viewers in the Oil City area, it only aired on Venango Video at that time. Which was the local access TV station. Now, we had not only the feature movie, but we had Chiller Chat way back then. We had guests come in. we had an interview segment, and of all things, it was kind of weird. It was like on Saturday Night Live. We would have a band play. There was a break like in the middle of the movie where we had a band playing, and those were the early episodes. I mean, I think we only did like maybe half a dozen of those because it was pretty difficult keeping up with that kind of schedule. But I tell you what, I was determined. I was ambitious. So we just threw everything at the audience because I was really working hard to make a noise. You know, now I've got people who watch, but I don't ever stop trying to make that noise, which is why I'm wearing the red shirt tonight. No, it's just something I picked. But anyways, I am always trying to make a noise yet because there's so much more I would like to do with the show, and you know, with the I started doing the live shows like this. I've been doing since April of this year, so I've been doing this for like 7 months. The Chiller Chat Live, I just started like 3-4 weeks ago. So that's a new idea. Speaking of Chiller Chat, on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday on the 6th, I believe that's the 6th, I will be speaking with Diana Sylvia and maybe her husband David. I'm not sure if let me see if she wrote me back. Okay, it'll be Dave. No, she didn't see the message yet. But they are from the Kiss of Death Productions. It's an independent film company in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, that does like horror movies, independent horror movies. They do I see them posting stuff lately about a web series called Nocturna. So I'd like to talk to them about that. That sounds kind of neat. Now, I don't know if that's something that you can watch right now. I don't know if that's available to watch yet, or if that's still in production. It looks from the posts that I'm seeing that they're still constantly taping things. They're filming things. So I don't know. So that'll be one of the questions I asked for Diana. Or David, or both, whoever I talk to Tuesday night. So every Tuesday night, we'll be doing live Chiller Chats. So we had the Halloween night. We played what you're going to be seeing tonight. We played Night of the Living Dead, and you'll see a little intro that this is a special feature that was aired on Stream TV on Halloween night. And then we had the Chiller Chat with Leah Dawn Madden, who's going to be talking about real live vampires and why she is convinced that they really exist. So that was an interesting one. I wish that one could have gone on a little longer. That one was kind of I wish they all would go on longer. It's funny. I talked to the guests who come on here. I talked to them briefly beforehand just to let them know things like, hey, you know, I'll call you. Don't worry about calling me. I will call you when the show starts. And whatever you're doing, if you're watching this is fine. Whatever you're watching it on, but understand there's a delay. So you know, turn the volume down on your end. Otherwise, we'll have an echo. And believe you me, a couple weeks ago we had an issue here where I was trying to do this show, and I'm hearing this echo from the other room. They were watching me on YouTube on the TV, which is good. I mean, I'm happy they were watching me, but it was for some reason the acoustics in this house are just kind of strange because it was just hitting. They didn't even have it up that loud, but I think maybe, who knows? I don't know. But anyways, that was what was going on there. And there is, but I like to talk to people beforehand, before they come on the show, just to tell them little things like that. And one of the things I was getting at is I tell them, you will not believe how quick that 30 minutes goes. Unlike tonight, the pre-show is an hour. Chiller Chat is only 30 minutes, and It goes like that. It really does. I mean, I have a lot of things I'd like to ask people, but you know, you're so limited on that. Maybe down the road I can do a version of Chiller Chat that is longer, and I don't have to worry about the time. We'll see. Now Brad says, are you planning on airing Dark Horse Championship Wrestling on Stream Media anytime soon? Hey, you have to excuse me for that. I've had a very long day. sorry. I should have had some coffee before I start. Replays. I don't think anytime soon. I can't rule that out. You know, if you want to see it, I mean, that's something I can consider doing. I kind of have to go in and I probably have to edit the shows because there's probably stuff in them like you know, little ads and stuff like that that no longer were kind of time you know, relevant at that time, but wouldn't make sense now. Like, you know, this June will be, you know, Dark Horse Championship Wrestling, you know, match at the Oil City High School or wherever, you know, stuff like that. I'd have to take out, and quite, I mean, that might be a possibility down the road if I get more of an, you know, interest in that. That's a possibility. Right now, I'm gonna. You know, I'm working on the, Ava sent me a little heart there on YouTube. Thank you. Thank you very much. Right back at you. Yeah, so I don't know. I guess if I got enough interest in that, maybe I would. You know, I have thought about it before, but I don't know, so much work trying to just keep up with what I'm doing. Here, you know, with you know, I don't know, it's a lot. There's a lot going on with the Chiller programming, because now I'm doing kind of like 3 shows. I got the Chiller Night Live, which is essentially just me making a noise about Chiller Night Theater. You know, visit my website, chillernighttheater.com. Chiller Chat, if you'd like to be a guest on Chiller Chat, visit, you know, chillernighttheater.com and write to me and tell me why you want to be on the show and all this. Brad says censor the advertisement. Well, I'd have to just cut that out and burn a new file and then submit it to the TV station. But it's just time consuming. It's nothing difficult. It's just kind of time consuming, and with what I have going on right now, like I said, I won't roll it out. I mean, it's a neat idea. Maybe I will do that. Maybe I will. I love that show. Dark Horse Championship Wrestling was great. I had an experience with that, and then I'll get back on the Chiller stuff, you know. But it was kind of neat. We were doing one of the shows, and I was with Ava. Oh, Brad says blur it out. Well, it's a lot easier for me just to you know, cut it out, put it together, and then burn a new file, believe it or not. But anyways, we were putting posters up in Erie, Ava and I, and I walked into a store, a comic store, comics and books and stuff like that, and I had the wrestling poster, and I said, hey, do you have an event wall, or, you know, where I could put this poster? And this was my big moment with DCW, you know. It's kind of funny because she says, are you Brian Hogue? And that just shocked me so much, because she didn't say, are you the guy, or are you, you know, Mr. Hogue, or nothing like. She said, are you Brian Hogue? And that just shocked me. I said, yes, I am. And she said, oh my gosh, my husband and I, we watched Dark Horse Championship Wrestling every week. At that time, now, for those who don't know, this aired actually on WICU every week, my wrestling show. So I thought that was really cool, you know, that she, and then there was another guy, one of the customers. He looks over, you know, he hears Dark Horse Championship Wrestling. He goes, are you with Dark Horse Championship Wrestling? I said, yeah, I'm here with the poster. And he says, is Lumberjack LaRue gonna be at the match. I said, as a matter of fact, he is. He's wrestling in the main event. So that was really cool, you know, to go up to Erie and actually have somebody recognize me, you know, as the owner and the promoter, but I wasn't a wrestler. I wasn't on, you know, this side of the camera, you know, so that was kind of cool. Keith says, that yawn just hit me too. Yeah, see what you did? You made me think about it. I better grab a cup of coffee or maybe a double espresso. That should liven me up a little bit. Yeah, I've been getting up early on Saturdays. If you see me looking like this, is because I get up pretty early, and then I've been doing doing quite a bit of pretty busy on Saturdays, but I don't know, catches up on me. I guess I'm getting older. I need my naps. Anyways, make sure I'm not. Oh, Brad says, have you ever been to the Pro Wrestling Rampage in Erie? No, I never have. Never been up there. No. But I had my show airing in Erie on WICU. Actually, it was on WSEE briefly. And what's the other one? There was another one. WICU, Lily Broadcasting, whatever. Lily has 3 stations, and at one point it had been on all their stations, but WICU was the one it was on for almost 2 years. So but anyways, getting back to, that was fun. That was a lot of fun, and maybe we'll do that down the road. But I haven't had a wrestling show in a while because since I moved, you know, those are a lot more difficult to coordinate, as you can imagine. There's a lot. I mean, I can do it. I know how to do it, and I've done it, you know, many times in the past. But there's just a little bit more. There's a lot more prep that goes into that, and a lot more money. So that's something that right now, you know, it really wouldn't be very practical for me to throw another event at this time, but maybe down the road, because I did very much enjoy it. And I'll tell you what, now that you've mentioned this, Brad, just to give all of you an idea of where I got these ideas, when I was little and growing up, there were 2 shows that really stood out to my family, or stood out to me as kind of a family time, and that was, you know, pro wrestling. We watched Georgia Championship Wrestling on TBS, you know, the Superstation, and we watched that every Saturday, and I love that. And then there was also Chiller Theater that used to come on 11:30 on WPXI out of Pittsburgh with Bill Chilly Billy Cardell, who I've had on the show before in the past. So those 2 shows I've always equated with something positive and family friendly, and that's why, if you notice, the 2 shows that I do, Chiller Night Theater and Dark Horse Championship Wrestling, and those were both you know, family friendly shows. You know, I didn't think that there was enough that you could enjoy together as a family, and I don't know, it's just my little way of you know, giving a little bit back as to what I grew up with. I kind of wanted to recreate that environment and that look and feel, and so that's the story behind, I think, what influenced me the most doing Dark Horse Championship Wrestling and now Chiller Night Theater. And if you are new to this, I'll tell you, the way I got started doing Chiller Night Theater was, I won't tell you how I got started because I've told that story before, but my influence is Chiller Theater, Bill Chilly Billy Cardell, and I actually we used to have a show called Sleepy Hollow Theater, which was hosted by Jack Shadow, had Aura the Witch on it, and in 2015 I changed the name to something that made a little more sense. You know, as far as I like looking at a title of a program and knowing what it is when I see the title, and that's why I changed it to Chiller Night Theater, which was a homage to Chiller Theater as well. But I only did that. I only did that after checking with Bill Cardell first. Just I mean, legally there was nothing to prevent me from doing that. Just as a courtesy, as a professional courtesy, I went and actually checked with him, and he gave me the thumbs up, gave me the green light. Hey, gave me his blessings on it. So I said Chiller Night Theater, which was actually a combination of Chiller Theater and Fright Night. Chiller Night. That's how I came up with that. So, in fact, I even have, like, I did a lot of my sketches and stuff. I probably still have, well, I do. I mean, it didn't go anywhere. My very early sketches of the logo for Chiller Night Theater is in here somewhere. I had everything in here for years. I had all of my notes in here. No, that'd be back earlier. This is kind of neat. I'll take a minute here and show you this. Aha. All right. Now this is an early, just sketching it out of the logo. And now you're familiar with the logo, what it looks like. Well, you can see part of it on YouTube up here for Chiller Night Live. And then if you want to see Chiller Night Theater, I'll put the poster, again, the picture there with Jack and Aura. See that? If you're on YouTube, you can see that up here. So, pretty cool. And then I have this logo here of Jack Shadow. If you're on YouTube, you can see that, I'm sure. Jack Shadow, and that one was kind of right here. Now, if you are, and then Rick Whitlow is the guy who did both of those. He did my DCW, which is in there as well. Logos, and he does a really good job. I sketch the stuff out, I send it to him, and he comes up with, pretty much what I want. So, but he's done for years. He's done the posters for my haunted houses. He's done the Chiller Night Theater logo. This Jack Shadow logo that I have here. So I'll leave that up. That looks kind of neat. If you're on YouTube, you can see that. But anyways, yeah. So over the years, he's done that. He's done the cover to my book, Chiller Night, The Spirit of Halloween, which I have here somewhere. Aha. Yes. All right. Now this is the book. I actually have this in the description. If you want to click on the link, that'll take you to where you can actually purchase a copy of Chiller Night, The Spirit of Halloween. Neat cover work by Rick Whitlow. I have some illustrations in here by Scott Lubin. There's one of the small town that this story takes place in. We've got various illustrations. There's the trick-or-treaters. Start out smiling, didn't end up that way. Their evening didn't go too well that night. Some of them made it out okay. But anyways, Chiller Night, The Spirit of Halloween, and that is intended to just be the first in a series of books. Now, the reason I haven't continued with this is not because I don't want to or don't have ideas. It's just I wanted this to pick up a little better. What I might do is actually submit this to a publisher instead of trying to self-publish, because they can help promote this a lot better than evidently I'm doing. So we'll see. And then after that, maybe we'll see the Chiller Night book series begin for young readers. Worth a shot. But that's where I'd like to see that go, and hopefully you would too, or maybe your young readers. It's more for like young teenagers, that type of thing, that age bracket. Pretty neat though. Written by Jennifer Sadler. I contacted Jennifer. I knew Jennifer for a while, and I asked her if she would author the book for me, which she agreed to do, and she did a great job. A little bit about Jennifer is, it's kind of neat because she used to work for West End Games. It's a role-playing game, you know, the role-playing game company. They did Star Wars and all these other role-playing games, and now she works for TSR, the people who work for or do Dungeons and Dragons. So that was kind of neat, and she made this. I remember sitting there talking to her about this book, about the story, and I just gave her I was very specific about how I wanted the book to begin, and then she said, and then I just gave her a general idea of where I wanted to see the story go, and then she ran with that, and she said, I'm playing this, or I'm writing this as if it were a game I would like to play. And I thought that was a neat idea because, you know, her working for role-playing game companies, you know, she would know all about the modules and, you know, building those little worlds, you know, which is what she did with Chiller Night, The Spirit of Halloween, which in my opinion is what makes it such an interesting book, because Jack Shadow, you know, these kids get transported, and it tells you how in the book. They end up on a Halloween night in the realm of Samhain, of the Lord of Darkness, of Father Halloween's Jack Shadow. Okay, and he makes it into a game. If they can do this, you know, whatever the conditions of the game are, he will send them back home. And he's actually, you know, he's fair about it. I mean, but he's still a monster. So I mean, he's not going to make it easy for them. But I think it's a pretty neat idea what she did there. So all right, I'll take the Jack Shadow picture down on YouTube. I'll put the other one back up just because it looks really cool. All right. All right, and like I said, Chiller Night Theater, pretty neat show. I really enjoy doing that. My wife Ava, she's been on the show since the very beginning, as Aura the Witch, and then we have Samantha Diener, who plays Elle von Nock, and she's a vampire character on the show, and and then. The idea for Chiller Chat, it's where I sit and I interview guests. That actually came from when I had listened to Coast to Coast. I thought, well, that's kind of a neat idea. These people every week were getting on here, or every night, and that was a nightly show. And they would talk about, Hal says, "Hello, Brian. Hello, Hal. I'm still letting it grow out a little more. Hal's my barber." So I told him it's going to be a little while. I'm gonna grow a mane before I go down and get it cut this time, but I usually have my hair cropped pretty short here. But and then Ava says, "Hi, Isabella." That's her niece. Okay, so that's neat that she's watching. Oh, and now Tom says, "When are you showing Nosferatu, and what soundtrack are you going to use?" I'm not sure what soundtrack yet at this time. Tom, that's going to be that'll be coming up as soon as I can get this. You're watching on YouTube, but if you see this on Facebook, there's nothing but green behind me, and so I'm going to wait until I get the stream keys connected through the software that I'm doing, so that the folks on Facebook are seeing what you're seeing on YouTube, and then once I get that all figured out, then. And only then, Jack Shadow made it very clear to me that he's not doing it until both backgrounds are are fixed. So I'll have to wait until I get all that ironed out, and then we'll see Jack Shadow on here doing a live Chiller Night Theater, which I think is a neat idea. So I can't wait to do that, and I'm sure Jack Shadow can't wait to do that either. So we'll see. But I thought that that would be a neat one to start off with because, and I'm sure down the road after we get used to doing one or two of the live, there's something a little. I mean, you got the intro, you got the movie segments, you got the bumpers, and then you have, you're coming back to the host, who at that time Jack Shadow will be able, and everybody can comment. Everybody can comment throughout the movie, comment, on the keyboards, including Jack Shadow. And then when Jack comes on, he does his dialogue, he shares his thoughts on the movie, and then he can actually interact with the viewers as well. And I think that's a neat one to start off with because let's see what Brad says, have you ever seen, oh, I don't know why, I thought I already read that. I think I already read that. I don't know why I'm repeating it. Oh yeah, no, that's a new one. Have you ever seen Revenge Pro Wrestling in Erie, Pennsylvania yet? You can look both of those pro wrestling promotions on Facebook. Okay. All right. No, I've not seen that. I've not seen that. I've been out of the wrestling world for a little while there, Brad. It's just something, I've just been kind of, for the last year and a half, I've really been involved in, doing the chiller shows, Chiller Night Theater and Chiller Chat, and now for the last 7 months trying to get the word out with this. Another thing we've been doing that you guys wouldn't see, but a lot has been going on behind the scenes as far as sending media kits out, the press kits, all these TV stations across the country. And I've been working on that, trying to get, again, just trying to make some noise, in my own little way here. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing online, on social media and on YouTube. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, I think I got a neat little series of programs here, and I don't want to keep it to myself. So, that's why I appreciate you guys, stopping in, interacting with me, watching the programs, giving me feedback on there, whether it be YouTube or Facebook, or through chillernighttheater.com. I get stuff from some viewers in Pittsburgh and stuff because it plays on PCTV 21 in Pittsburgh also. I guess I forgot to mention that, but so it's starting to pick up some momentum. The online stuff, I got to work on online. TV, it's doing pretty well, but I have to get more of an online presence. So this is kind of helping me do that. And I just looked at the clock, and it is 8:43. Remember what I said earlier about Chiller Chats going by so quick? This hour goes so fast for me because I only have like a few things that I really want to share, but the interaction is what really helps. And so I love this. Tom on YouTube says, you need a new character. How about Jack's Goody Two Shoes brother Chuck Shadows? Well, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. We'll see. I'm having I had kind of toyed around with the idea of introducing new characters here and there. I have throughout the duration of the show, and it just gets a little, like, sometimes one of the problems is, believe it or not, coordinating people's schedules to because we filmed this in a studio, so it's a little easier. The less characters that are on the show, at least for now, makes it go a little smoother. Maybe down the road, I can kind of look into that, but it's a little, I probably got enough on my plate right now. Back in the day, I would gladly, tackle a lot of different things like that and have half a dozen plates spinning in the air as far as events. And I did, okay, I had Chiller Night Theater, I had Dark Horse Championship Wrestling, I had Chiller Chat, I had self-defense classes that I would teach for rape awareness and prevention classes. I had the haunted house. I had all these things, and then plus I had a a regular job, full-time job with rotating shifts, and then and of course I have a family, and so. And I don't know how I did it back then because I didn't. I mean, it was there was a lot to it. There was a lot to it, but yet when you really it was a real labor of love. A lot of these things I just love to do. So I want to make sure I don't get in over my head, because while it's still fun, that's cool, when it starts to feel like it's I'm treading water with cement boots on, or juggling chainsaws, then I have to take a step back and see what can I do to maybe cut corners here or there as far as time management. Brad says, but it's fun to chat. It's just the hour goes so quick. I know. It absolutely does. In fact, I'm going to, if you're watching on YouTube, this is kind of neat. But you guys on Facebook, you'll just have to see the green. All right, but here we go. I'm going to go over the schedule again. Boom! Night of Living Dead poster at 9 p.m. In just, a very short amount of time. We're going to be seeing at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Jack Shadow will actually he doesn't host the movie like he does a regular chiller chat. This was a Halloween special we had on the other night, and he does an intro, and then we watch Night of the Living Dead, which is a great movie, and then after that we have chiller chat at 11 p.m. with Leah Dawn Madden. Now that's the one we just did this week on Tuesday. It was streamed live, and so that will be our 11 p.m. Episode of the evening. And then and she'll be talking about vampires. We played this one on Halloween night also. And then at 11:30, The Devil's Hand. Now watch this, all of you on YouTube. Check it out, huh? Pretty neat. The poster for The Devil's Hand. That's a neat movie. Witchcraft and black magic and all that good stuff. So that's at 11:30. Now at 1:30 a.m., chiller chat with author J.W. Burchick. And he is, on that episode, he's talking about The Hybrid Dead, the book he wrote. And then, get that poster out. At 2 a.m., once again, we watched Night of the Living Dead. Now, that won't be a reoccurring Chiller Night Theater episode because that was just for the Halloween special. I may do that movie maybe a couple years down the road, maybe a year down the road as a regular Chiller Night Theater episode. But we just thought it would be a fun one to play on Halloween night. And I wanted to play it again tonight. So hope you enjoy it. Angela says, love Night of the Living Dead. Yes, I think all fans of horror really do love Night of the Living Dead. It's such a classic horror movie. So, and that was really the movie. There had been zombie movies, of course. There had been zombie movies in the past, but never like this. Never the cannibalistic cadavers, the dead ghouls that would eat you. They didn't feed upon the flesh like this. It was done in a way that, and if you were bitten, you became one. They had never done anything like that before. It was always through, the Haitian plantations and stuff, through voodoo and stuff like that. But there was something very, very dreadful about that. The idea of being bitten, and that's your fate. That's your curse to turn into this thing. Kind of like a werewolf, but a werewolf eventually at some point they turn back. I mean, you're still you at some point. You turn into something totally unrecognizable. I mean, within yourself, you're dead. You're I don't know. To me, that was a scary concept, and it still is. And when I talked to John Russo, he actually said that was his idea to use zombies, because George Romero made it. I get this is what he was telling me. If you watch our chiller chat when he was on there, he was saying that they pretty much were saying it's a monster, maybe space aliens. It was Night of the Flesh Eaters at first, and then it became flesh-eating zombies. So whoever or however this came to be, it was done, and it was a great movie. So changed the course of movie history forever. So there would be no Walking Dead without Night of the Living Dead. I mean, not at all. And now Tom says, "Have you done White Zombie yet?" Yes, we have. Actually, if you go to chillernighttheater.com, you can see or Chiller Night Theater's YouTube channel, you can see that version there. The episodes are all in there. And then Brad says, "The tone on Jack Shadow's voice sounds so serious when he hosted Night of Living Dead on that Halloween night. Awesome movie." Yes, he kind of that was kind of the haunted house Jack Shadow that Jack Shadow started out as a character in My Haunted House where he was the greeter, and he would greet the guests as they came in and give this really creepy speech to kind of set that atmosphere, really get it built up, and then usher them into the haunted house, into the horrors that await them beyond. So that was a little taste of that Jack Shadow, the creepy, monstrous Jack Shadow that I kind of like to see more of him as well. Every once in a while, you see a little bit more of him on the show, through some bits of dialogue, but mostly it's it's kept lighthearted. But both of those versions of Jack Shadow are fun to do. When I was first introduced with the idea of because at first the host wasn't going to be Jack Shadow. I had no intention of that character being the host, because I just thought it never even occurred to me. I thought it would be too difficult to do that and to keep up with the production of the show. But when I was asked to do, and that wasn't one of the conditions of whether the TV station would air the show, they just simply asked me, "Hey, would you consider having Jack Shadow be the host?" And I thought, wow. I don't know. I mean, at first I didn't really like the idea, but I started reconsidering it and thinking, okay, is this going to work? Can he be funny? Can he put a comedic twist on the topics, on the commentary? I don't know. We'll see. And it actually worked out really, really well. It was an easier transition than I would have expected, because that character was more of a creepy, the creepy dark lord of the underworld of the dead. Brad says 10 minutes until Chiller Night Theater. Yes. Well, now I'm reading yours a little late because it's at 7 minutes now. So I won't keep you much longer. Like I said, every Saturday night on Stream TV. If you don't know how to get on Stream TV, I've provided the link in the description, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook. Click on that, go to the website. Now, there's 3 ways you can actually watch this. If the first and obvious way is if you live in the Oil City or surrounding areas, you can watch it on, that's your local TV station. Now, click on that link that I provided, and that'll take you to streammedia.tv. That website there, you can watch it streaming live right there online, or you have to go over to where it says Roku and click on that, and then it'll give you the code, and you can connect to the Roku channel. Now, as Tom pointed out one time, don't go onto the Roku and search for Stream TV. It won't be the same one. There's actually various, I guess there must be various versions of Stream TV, I think. But this Stream TV, go to streammedia.tv, because that's the Roku channel that you want. Okay. To connect to that one, because if you go on just looking for it on Roku, I don't think you're going to find it. I couldn't find it, and Tom couldn't find it. So go there. That'll eliminate any looking. You don't have to search for nothing. You just click connect. So I made it really simple by providing that link. So 8:54 again, 9 p.m. Night of Living Dead. 11 p.m. Chiller Chat with my guest Leah Dawn Madden. We're going to be talking about real live vampires. And 11:30 p.m. Chiller Night Theater, The Devil's Hand. 1:30 a.m. Chiller Chat with my guest J.W. Burchick. He will be talking about his book, The Hybrid Dead. And then It's like a different type of zombie, like a zombie on meth or something. These things are vicious. They're like piranha zombies or something. Yeah, that's about as descriptive as I can get without you reading the book. And then at 2 a.m. we top off the evening with Night of the Living Dead once again. So folks, thank you for joining me once again on Saturday night. I really appreciate that. Brad says 5 minutes till Chiller Night Theater to the Roku TV. Yes, 5 minutes to go. But I'll let you go. I'll let you go, and so you can get whatever you got to get. Get your popcorn, get your pizza, get your favorite beverage, get your safety blanket, wrap that blanket up around you tight, and prepare for fun and fright with Chiller Night Theater and Chiller Chat all night long from 9 p.m. until 3:30 a.m. on Stream TV. Folks, thank you once again for joining me. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Have a good Chiller night. I'll see you next week. Bye.